US puts Bangladesh and Pakistan on immigrant visa freeze. Key facts. In a move that has triggered anxiety among thousands of families worldwide, the United States has paused immigrant visa processing for citizens of 75 countries, including Bangladesh and Pakistan. Effective from January 21, 2026, this pause affected visa for permanent residency, commonly known as green cards, but doesn't impact tourists, students, or temporary work visas such as H-1B. While US embassies may still accept applications and conduct interviews, approval and issuance of immigrant visas are temporarily suspended until the ongoing review is complete. What the freeze means. The freeze applies primarily to family-based immigration, employment-based green cards, diversity lottery visas. It does not affect tourist visas, student visas, temporary work visas. Applicants from Bangladesh and Pakistan who are awaiting green cards or family reunifications now face indefinite delays. Diversity lotteries winners from these countries cannot proceed with their applications until the freeze is lifted. However, travel, study, and temporary work opportunities remain unaffected, providing partial reliefs to students and professionals. Which countries are affected? Although the US has not released an official list of all 75 countries, reporting from diplomatic sources confirm a wide geographic spread: South Asia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka; Middle East, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Syria, Yemen; Africa, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Sudan, Somalia, Eritrea, Democratic Republics of Congo, Ghana; Eastern Europe and Central Asia, Belarus, Turkmenistan; other countries, Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Chad. This freeze is a broad policy-driven measures rather than a politically targeted action aimed at countries with high immigration volumes or economic stress indicators. Official reasons: public charge rules. The US government cites the public charge rules as the basis of the freeze. Under this policy, immigrants' visas can be denied if an applicant is deemed likely to rely on US government welfare after arrival. Consular officials are instructed to evaluate applicants more strictly based on financial stability, education and skill levels, health and age, likelihood of required public assistance. Until the review and updated evaluation standards are completed, immigrants' visas processing remains frozen. Why Bangladesh and Pakistan are included? There is no diplomatic disputes or security allegations targeting either country. Inclusion is based on migration trends and statistical risk under the public charge frameworks. High migration numbers. Pakistan has historically been one of the top source countries for the US green card. Rising demand. Bangladesh saw a surge in immigrant visa applications in 2025, reflecting growing interest in permanent migrations to the US. Both countries now fall under the US review due to these factors, not political considerations. Impact on applicants. Impact on applicants. For citizens of Bangladesh and Pakistan, green card approval are delayed and identified. Family reunifications is postponed. Diversity lotteries winners cannot proceed. However, student visas, tourist visas, and temporary work visas remain unaffected, allowing individuals to travel, study, or work in the US temporarily. Broader context: US immigration policy. This freeze is part of a wider tightening of US immigration policy under the Trump administration's return to office. Measures include cancellation of over 1 lakh visas, expanded background and social media checks, emphasis on economic self-sufficiency for immigrants. Critics argue that the policy unfairly targets developing nations, while supporters claim it protects US taxpayers and prioritizes applicants who can sustain themselves economically. What comes next? There is no fixed deadlines for lifting the freeze. The US has clarified that it will remain in effect until the internal review is complete. Pakistan has called the move temporary, while Bangladesh continues diplomatic monitoring of development. The message is clear. The US has not closed the door to permanent immigrants, but has temporarily paused approvals to reassess eligibility under stricter economic criteria. Rising demands. Bangladesh recorded a sharp increase in the immigrant visas applications in 2025, signaling growing interest in permanent migrations to the US. Because of this scale, both countries fall under the broader US review of nations where applicants are statistically considered at highest risk under the public charge frameworks. What does this mean for applicants' rights now? For citizens of Bangladesh and Pakistan, Green card applications face indefinite delay, families waiting for reunifications must wait longer, diversity lottery winners cannot proceed further. However, students can still go to the US, tourists can still apply, temporary workers are unaffected. This means mobility is restricted only for permanent settlements, not for travels and educations. The bigger picture, US immigration policy. This freeze is part of a wider immigration tightening under the Trump administration. Since returning to office, the administration has cancelled over 1 lakh visas, increased background and social media checks, re-emphasized economic self-sufficiency for immigrants. Critics argue that immigrants generally contribute more in taxes than they take in benefits and say the policy unfairly targets developing nations. Supporter says it protects US taxpayers. What happened next? There is no deadline for lifting the freeze. The US says the pause will continue until its internal review is completed. Pakistan has described the move as temporary, while Bangladesh is closely monitoring development through diplomatic channels. For now, the message from Washington is clear. The door to permanent immigration is not shut, but it is firmly on pause.